All right, guys, what's going on? Another video here today with the YFZ. Today we're going to install the AIS delete. If you saw the last video we did the flywheel, upgraded flywheel bolts, and we did the 09 to 2010 clutch basket swap. And so today we're doing the AIS delete, which is here. And I'm going to do it a little bit different than most. So the AIS delete comes with the block off plate and some zip ties, and then you have the plug for the pump to plug that off, and then you have the plug for the air box. So we're going to use all that, but we're probably not going to use the zip ties, because what I'm going to try and do is what most people don't do. I don't know why. Seems pretty obvious. My buddy Ian did this on his Square One Speed channel. So this bracket here is attached to the port that we're going to be blocking off. So when we take that out, you can basically lop off the tube from the plate and then mount it, put it right on top of the block off plate when you bolt it down. This way you'll still have the bracket, and then the tube's gone. Then you still have the bracket portion of it. So we're going to try and do that here with this kit, and I think it should be good. And this way you keep the factory bracket that holds all the lines, and you're not just zip tying it together. Which I know a lot of people do, and it's fine, but I'd prefer to keep the factory bracket and looking nicey nice like that if we can. So we're going to start. I'm going to try and also do this with the tank on, to not have to take the plastics and the tank off. Maybe a pain in the neck, and we may end up having to take it off anyway, but we're going to give it a whirl. So all this stuff here is going to be gone. This here, the pump, and it goes around to the other side, comes out here. This whole contraption will all be gone. And then that line that goes all the way back, I'll have to pop it off there and put the plug on the air box. And then that'll really clean up the front there. Get rid of all that stuff. And it helps with the deceleration pop a little bit. So let's get to it. All right, guys, step one is done. And that is getting the hoses and the pump out. So that's pretty easy. You're gonna need a 4mm Allen. And there's gonna be this bracket is going to be attached here, and then there's going to be a 4mm Allen here. It's these screws here. There's going to be one there, and then from the other side, you're going to see there's one a few inches in. You'll be able to get it from the other side with a long Allen, like T-handle like this. It's easiest to do it. And then a pair of linesman's pliers. Get the clamps off the hoses. You can slide the pump off this side, and then the rest of this will come out the other side. Again, with your lineman pliers. Move that clamp off and slide it off now all you got left is the little pipe coming off the engine. So we're gonna take that bracket off and do that. And then this long hose that was attached to the pump that ran all along here goes to the air box. You can get to that. All you need to do is just take that plug off that goes to the automatic idle valve. And let me get a flashlight now, you guys can see it. You'll see the nipple on the air box. You'll see it when the hose is going to it though. And then that's gonna go right through there. You put the rubber cap on there, put his black zip tie on it so the cap stays tight and don't come off, and you're good to go. You can see from the back too. That's right. Take the plastics off, it's easier, but I didn't have to. So it's right above that white plug, right there. So you'll see it when the hose goes to it. If you take that electrical plug off, it'll be right behind it. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the dongle in the electrical plug, zip tie that up out of the way, so that's gone. Now all that mess in the front is gone. And then we'll get that plate off the front of the engine, and we'll show you what we're gonna do with that. Alrighty, guys. So, in the mood of being innovative, I wanted to reuse the bracket, like I said. So what I did was I took it off, and I got it off successfully, although it's not easy, but you can do it if you have patience without taking the plastics and the tank off. As you'll see, I got it all off there. There's the opening. Now the screws that come out of there, the way I did it was I disconnected the bracket for this for the breather tube line, the hard line right here, so you can move it around. And the one screw in the front is going to actually disconnect from the bracket you're removing anyway, so that'll give you some wiggle room to get a small Allen in there. It's a 5 mil. And then once you get those 2 bolts out, and you're going to reuse that for the cap for the 38 Motorsports, okay? Now, if you reuse it with the cap plus the stock bracket on top to maintain the bracketry, you're going to have only just a couple threads. So yesterday, I actually replaced my case saver, the OEM case saver, with a Moose Racing one. Moose Racing supplies you with new longer bolts with 10 millimeter hex heads. So what comes out of there are Allen heads, 5 mil Allen heads, that are the same thread pitch as the ones you take out of the AIS tube. And they are right here. And they're just longer. And it's just the right amount of threads lengthwise to double up the 38 Motorsports cap, the gasket, metal gasket that comes off, you're gonna reuse with this here. So, and then we're gonna put that on there. And this also gave me an excuse to use my new Milwaukee angle grinder. And I just cut that right off with a cutoff wheel. Put it in the vise, lopped it off, filed it down a little bit so it's not sharp. And now this is gonna just sit right on top of the cover. Once that's on there like that, it's gonna sit like that on the machine, and then the longer bolts will go through, the 2 of them. You're not gonna see that fancy 38 Motorsports on there, but that's all right, it's just doing its job with blocking it off the hole. A real cheap way to do this would be to you could just lop this line shorter so you don't see it, and then put a rubber cap on it. That's a cheaper way to do it. Or you can just put a rubber cap on this end. I kind of wanted to get rid of all of this altogether. So this will do the trick. I'm gonna get it reinstalled and we'll show you the finished product. All right, guys, so we successfully installed it with the help of our friend here. Right, Bucky? He's not too excited about it. He was a minute ago. But, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's hide the camera. All right, so we successfully got it installed. Bucky inspected it, said it came out good. Right, what do you think, Dad? You did a good job? Yeah. So here's all the stuff you took off. You're gonna take out right there. And then you'll see the bracket is on the other side. We'll get around there and show you, but that's the plug. Put the blank in there, we zip tied it. That's the plug that would go to the pump. That's all done. If you went the extreme route and you took everything apart, you could actually pull that wire through the other side of the radiator to the front there and zip tie it up out of the way so you don't see it. At some point, you know, when we ever get this thing apart for some other reason, maybe we'll do that. But it's good right there now. Just put the blank plug in there and zip tie it. And then, so there's all the stuff we removed. And then on the other side, I'll show you how clean it looks. So you'll see. Still got the bracket now intact, and you'll see back there, I get the lighting right, the 38 Motorsports blank plate. You'll see it back there, the black one. And then the gasket's behind that, obviously, the little metal OEM gasket. And then I got the stock bracket where the tube would come off, and you can see where the tube was there in the middle of that hole after we lopped it off. So now we're just basically utilizing that as a bracket. So with the longer bolts through there, and we are able to utilize not only this bracket here for the lines, for your emergency brake cable, throttle cable, clutch cable, all 3 of them hang out in here, but you're also utilizing the bracket here for the breather vent line, the hard breather vent line to mount back again. So you're not losing all of that by doing it this way. So just a little tip and trick. And like I said, my friend Ian, Square One Speed Channel, did it to his. He had showed it after he did it, so I didn't see in detail, but I kind of got the idea of how he did it basically based on what he was explaining. So that was my way of doing it. So pretty easy. You just need a little bit of hand tools. If you don't have a angle grinder, you know, as long as you have a vise or something to put that bracket in, you can lop the tube off with a pair of, you know, with a hacksaw or something, hacksaw blade, sharp hacksaw blade. So, well, we had this, took it off in 2 seconds, and she's ready to go, nice and clean. So we've got, to summarize what we've done, we did the AIS just now, and then yesterday we did the flywheel bolts upgrade, we did the case saver, and we did the stronger clutch basket from the 09 to 2010 model. And we have an hour meter on here. We have 3.5 hours on the machine so far. And we are on our second oil change. So I changed it at 0.9 hours, ran it to the 3.5 yesterday, dumped the oil when we did the other stuff, filled it up with fresh oil. And now we're good to go. We'll probably go to 10 on this oil change, then we'll just change it every 10 thereafter. What's the matter, buddy? You want to go back inside? Go ahead, go see mommy. So that'll wrap up this one, guys. Hope it was helpful with somebody. I know for me personally, I didn't like the idea of just using zip ties for the lines. I wanted to retain that factory bracket somehow. And I remember Ian saying on his video that he did it that way. So I kind of figured out, again, how to get it off without removing everything. It's definitely a little bit slower of a process, taking it out, but you're also saving the time not removing all the stuff in the front. And I don't like taking the plastics and the tank on and off if it's unnecessary. You know, the more, in my mind, the more you take stuff on and off, the looser it gets and doesn't fit right. And connections get loose, stuff like that. So I'd rather not take it off if I don't have to. And fortunately, I was able to get my hands in there and kind of finagle around enough to do it. So next video you see with this one will be at the sand dunes. We got a dune trip planned in about 2 weeks, which is probably about time this video will be dropping, to be honest with you. So when this video drops, we'll probably be at the dunes that weekend. And given it its first shakedown run, we'll get the paddles thrown on it and see how she does. We got 3.5 hours on her now, like I said, and fresh oil, 2 oil changes done so far. And we'll see how she does in the sand. Very anxious to get it out there. So thanks for watching, guys. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow us on Instagram at Odyssey_offroad. And you can also now follow us on Facebook. We're on Facebook. Follow us there. Give us a follow. And you kind of, on Instagram and Facebook, you kind of get a sneak peek behind the scenes stuff of what's coming down the pipeline. So thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.